let you do the introductions. Come on.
All right, welcome back again, everybody. My name is Cal, and you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube. I'm at Handlebars and Cigars. And over here to my left, your right.
Depending on what the video shows up, because it's been switching us on the test run. So we'll see. It could be on your left, could be on your right. Will Hart from the Cigarage. Live once again. Well, live for us. It'll probably be like a repeat for them, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, we're back again, like I said, at the Cigarage. I like to call it the ultimate man cave. Definitely will make a grown man cry. If you do have man cave envy, this is the spot to be. And we're going to try out some cigars today. Actually, we're going to try the same cigar.
Exactly. And this time around.
Yes, and I'm excited about that because now we have an opportunity to kind of go back and forth with one another, see what your palate's about, see what my palate's about.
Exactly.
Kind of, go through some of the highlights of the cigar and just kind of, share that with our viewers here today.
Right. So what we're going to present to you guys today, or what we're having, is the Joya, the Numero Uno, and we're both doing the same stick. I guess you cut yours already? Or you just tore that nip off?
I tore that.
Yeah, it normally comes with like a slight little nip at the top. Mm-hmm. Kelvin couldn't wait, so he took his off.
Yeah. I had fat fingers.
So
what
I'm going to try a V-cut on this one.
Oh, cool.
See how it goes, because, man, this V-cut is still holding up to par. I mean, look at that cut. Just look at that cut.
That's
nice
awesome.
and hey, no tears whatsoever.
And like I said, not to be outdone, I'm very fond of the V-cut too as well. Sometimes I'll use a punch. Normally on a punch, I will probably, on a larger gauge cigar, I will use a punch. And on, somewhere around a medium gauge type of cigar, I'll either go with a V or I'll use the guillotine. But again, just like with Will, nice and clean. So what Will's doing right now, I'm going to do myself. You're going to take a dry pull just to make sure the airflow, you got a nice, good stream with your airflow before you light the cigar up.
Yeah, not only that, but when you're taking a tight, I should say a dry draw, not a tight draw, it gives you kind of like a preliminary flavor to what the tobacco is all about. It's got a Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and I believe the filler is all Nicaraguan.
Yep, your filler and your binder.
Yep, there you go.
Nicaraguan.
So we're about to light this up. So go for yours, I'll go for mine.
All right.
I usually tend to toast mine a little bit, which is just kind of like give it a nice even burn all around.
Same here. I like to call I'm waking the cigar up a little bit by heating up the end of it.
There you go.
So here, all right, rise and shine. There we go.
So you see, it's just got like a nice little tinge on the outside.
Yep. Not too much. I mean, I messed up a little bit right here, as you can see. Yeah, that was my fault.
I mean, so did I. I mean, it just happens. Yeah. See, the other side is perfect, but you'll always hit like one side. I don't know. I could never get it perfect. Okay.
All right.
So what I'm getting right now, not so much flavor, but more of a smoothness. To me, this is like a mild to medium. More along the mild. I think it's because of that Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
The same thing. I'm getting starting off like a little bit of a mild flavor notes. Very light, maybe kind of cedarish.
Yeah, I can see that.
Spice to it. I'm gonna let things heat up a little bit, and trying to get through the first third. And I'm expecting, because I've never smoked a cigar before, but I am expecting for this to open up a little bit for me.
I'm hoping so too. I've had this one before, but I can't remember when. It's probably like when it first came out, which I think was 2019, released to the masses. I think prior to that, 2017, 2018, we were about, they had to be like dignitaries. Had to be Nicaraguan to get it.
Yeah.
So
almost like a select release.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little heat check, so to speak.
Exactly. There you go.
They did the little heat check and said, you know what? All right, we go ahead and open this up to the masses. And I think that's when they kind of really dropped. What, 2019? You said?
Yeah, about 2019, I believe. Yeah. And I think back then they hit number 8 with Cigar Aficionado. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's about what they ranked it. I think they got a 95.
Fact check them on that one.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Maybe 8, maybe 8.5. But we don't. But I think we could. Pretty sure. I think it was around 8 for sure.
So I like it's releasing a good amount of smoke and it's staying pretty steady. It still has a real good smoothness to it, like really like calm, kind of relaxed kind of cigar, not really punch you in the face kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Like it's a good.
It's definitely in the smooth, like you said, smooth, creamy. Definitely on the draw. You can fill your palate up with a lot of smoke.
How's your draw? Because mine is super smooth.
My draw is definitely super smooth. Now, compared to another cigar we had about a week or so ago, I was having a little difficulties with the draw and actually the cigar staying lit.
Yeah, I remember you were having issues with it just staying lit.
Yeah. And unfortunately, guys, I'm just putting it out there. It was that Drew Estate, that H99 that I had. I did struggle with it a little bit, but the experience that I had did warrant me to at least give that cigar another try. I'm going to give it another at bat. But as far as this cigar is concerned, though, like I said, the smoke is good, the draw is great. Like I said, you get those notes of like the creaminess.
You definitely get creaminess from this one. Like that can definitely taste like that's. I guess where I say it's smooth, it gives you that creaminess. That I don't know how else to explain it except like a little bit of like whipped cream.
Yeah.
But it's definitely smooth. I'm liking it. I'm so glad we're both having the same one today, so we can both discuss how we feel about it. Mm-hmm. And this is pretty good. I don't know if how many more I do, but I'm not disliking it.
I'm digging this one for sure. Now with me, guys, like I said, I'm primarily drinking water, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about maybe some pairing options. But I like to drink water for a lot of reasons. Obviously, one is hydration, but the other one is I want to kind of wash my palate back out. Then take another, pull or puff or draw of the cigar. So I like to kind of cleanse it out. But normally, if I'm home and if I want an adult beverage, I definitely will pair this up with an adult beverage. Now, Will, what sort of adult beverage would you kind of pair this?
See, right now, I can't wait to finish this beer because it's not going really well with this. It's kind of offset too much. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to do... I would like to try mezcal, but that might be a little too overbearing for this cigar. I think I want to have that same smooth flavor. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably going to go with what I had last week, a Redemption. It's my go-to, and it's got that same smoothness for bourbons, and I think that'll pair really well. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give that a shot in about a minute. Okay. I think I'm just going to put this beer away. I think I'm ready for that bourbon. So give me 1 second.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I'm really liking this. It's getting there.
Guys, I tell you what, if you had this cigar before, please put some notes, send us a comment and let us know too as well, your experience, to see, your overall overview on this particular stick. Like I said, we just started, so we really haven't gotten into the stick. Maybe it'll start to open up a little bit, but it definitely will be in the mild category for me. And hopefully it might, it may fluctuate a little bit and maybe increase a little bit as we go on, but we'll definitely check that out and let you guys know too as well.
Okay, so I went to the liquor cabinet and decided to change my mind. I'm doing a Jefferson's. Reason for that being, I think as I walked up there and I saw the Jeffersons, instead of doing smooth on smooth, let's do a little smooth but a little bite. And let's see what happens.
So that's that yin and
Yin yang, yeah, exactly.
Sort of balance. You know, although, like I said, this is our second installment on these videos. Let's share with the viewers out here, basically, you know, the story on how this really all came about.
All right.
And I'm going to start off with you. You know, how did we get here? How did we actually get to this space where we are in the Cigarage, talking about something that we love, our passion?
Okay.
And not only talking about it, but decide to share it.
Yeah.
With everybody too as well.
Yeah. So how it all really started, I had two neighbors of mine met at the bus stop, dropping off our kids at the bus, and I remember we were talking about cigars, and it was odd to me because there's not that many people in this neighborhood that really enjoy cigars. Now I found more. Originally when I moved here, and that was about 7 years ago, so I'm at the bus stop, guys and I were talking about cigars, and one guy goes, yeah, you know, why don't you come over? We were hanging out in his backyard, but you know, that wasn't always available. So with his kids and my kids, we decided we've got the HOA pool really close by, and outside they have like this little seating area. Nothing fancy, it's pretty decent, you know. And he started calling it the veranda. And it's like, let's meet up at the veranda. Well, we did that up until, you know, wintertime when it got really cold. And I think that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to turn this garage into like a little lounge. And sure enough, it happened. I had one of my neighbors, he's not around, he's upstate somewhere, and showed him how to use a couple of tools, helped me out. And sure enough, we built it out, put all my vinyl up, and eventually we'll show you what this whole place looks like. And yeah, that was in 2018. And I remember another buddy of mine, he was like, wow, you know, it's like a cigar garage lounge. And what we did was just combine the two. And that's how it became the Cigarage. Cigar garage, Cigarage. So I basically opened it up to anybody in the neighborhood who enjoyed cigars. And one of our good buddies hooked me up with you.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he only lives like a block and a half away, if that.
Yes.
If that. I mean, you can walk there from here. So if there was ever a time of being really inebriated, having one too many of these, you know, you can make a little walk. But
it's a small world.
It's a small world. And then,
small
you know, we started talking, and we're having these conversations about, you know, how we grew up and where we grew up. And that's where I'm going to turn it over to you, because that was something else.
All right, so how me and Will met, actually, like you mentioned earlier, was through another third-party friend of ours. And it's funny, the third-party friend of ours, I actually met through Instagram. Because I'm out there on Instagram, I post a lot of stuff. I have, you know, two accounts. And I was attending a cigar event sponsored by, I think it was Tinderbox, over at Old Mecklenburg Brewery.
Okay, OMB, yeah.
And lo and behold, I see this guy walk by, and I was with my boy Jason, and I said, man, I know that guy from somewhere. I said, you know what? I think that's one of the guys that follow me on the gram. So I went up, introduced myself. Sure enough, he did. Then he told me about, yeah, man, I got a buddy of mine that converted his garage into a cigar lounge. I said, man, maybe we should go there and, you know, hang out with the fellas and, you know, smoke some cigars and drink some spirits. I said, sure, fine. I said, where is it at? He said, oh my God, I'm only a block away from this guy. So came down, met, like Will was saying earlier, we started talking. I'm not sure if you, the viewers, know a little bit about me. You know, I am an Army veteran. I spent some time in the military, like I say, U.S. Army. I was stationed over in Germany for a while. So me and Will was talking. I was telling him a little bit about my Army past. I said, yeah, I was stationed in Germany. And Will was like, really? Where in Germany? I said, oh man, I was in this little town called Ludwigsburg, which is right outside of Stuttgart. He said, Lewisburg. He said, I was born in Lewisburg. I said,
Yeah, that's really when it hit, and I had to stop him. I'm like, you did not just say Ludwigsburg. There's not a lot of people that know this little town, and it is right outside of Stuttgart. So when people ask me where I'm from, I'm like, just right outside Stuttgart, because that's what people know. Now, for him to have said Ludwigsburg, I'm like, there's definitely a connection here. You know what I mean? It just clicked. It just clicked. It was organic. I was like, that's it. And we've been friends ever since. Yeah. You know, he'll come down every now and then. Now we got this thing going on where we're having cigars, doing our little thing. Yeah, this is awesome.
This is awesome, man. This is awesome. It's funny, you know, and I like to encourage everybody, go out, meet your neighbors, you know, talk. You just don't know how many similarities you actually have unless you go out and talk. Like I said, it was fate that kind of brought us together.
Yeah,
and
it was crazy. Like even upbringing, both were in New York.
New York, yeah, both Queens.
Queens, exactly. Like it just one thing led to another, led to another, led to another.
Both DJ'd.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm old, so I DJ back in the day.
See, I love when he says he's old because I'm like right at his age. So don't let him fool you.
I was DJ back in the mid '70s to early '80s before I went and joined the service.
And the best format, vinyl.
Vinyl, exactly.
Let's not forget that.
Exactly.
Vinyl will always sound better than anything else you're going to bring my way.
Through and through, even when it comes down to how you play your music.
That's right. So just wanted to let you guys know, the Jefferson does kind of give it a little more. It's not as smooth as it was because you kind of get more of that flavor that they put in here with this Nicaraguan binder and filler. It kind of now downplays that Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper. So you don't get that real smoothness. Now, if you wanted to keep that smoothness, don't go for like a spicy bourbon or a more meaty bourbon. Go for something a little smoother to keep that smoothness up if that's what you're looking for. But I kind of like that it's giving a different angle to the cigar now. So I'm really enjoying the Jeffersons with this Uno.
So what do you mean by meaty? Because when you say that to me, I'm thinking maybe not a higher proof.
No, it doesn't have to be a higher proof. Like my normal proofs are between the 85 to 95 range on bourbons. So that's kind of like what I like. But you'll find different tastes within that proof range. So if you took, like I said earlier, if I would have taken the Redemption, it probably would have kept that same creaminess. I would have gotten that smoothness to it. The Jeffersons, I guess the way they, distill their bourbon, gives it a little more edge, gives it a little more bite. So when I say a little meaty to it, it's got like that, more of a depth to the bourbon. Instead of being like, just a regular old bourbon like the Redemption is, which is good for an anytime bourbon. But this one, it kind of gives that notch up. So that's kind of what I mean by meaty.
And also, guys, too, you get a lot of, I would say, your flavor and context from your bourbons, from the barrels that it's aged in. So that plays a big role.
It does
in the different spectrum of flavors that you could get through different types of bourbons.
Even with Jeffersons. Now this is the very small batch. Let me hold it up to the camera so you guys can see which one I'm having. My preference on this. Now let me see what was the proof. 82.3. So it's a little lower than what I'm used to, but like I said, it's got a little more edge to a bourbon than the Redemption. But there's plenty of Jeffersons out there. My really go-to Jeffersons is the Jefferson's Ocean.
Because
they have their barrels on like these barges, and Oh my God, I don't
forgot
know
how-
what it is that they do, but it's so damn delicious.
I used to know how long they used to keep the barge out to sea.
Yeah, because they used to
X
have
amount of days. They
no,
keep it out.
it's like it was like the voyage, and it would tell you this is
Yeah.
voyage number 23
Yeah.
or 21. Yeah, it would tell you exactly how long it's been out there
Yeah.
and swishing around in those barrels.
Now, I like the ocean, but for me, pound for pound, the Jefferson Reserves
Yeah, that too.
kind of it kind of fluctuates between the two, the small batch and the ocean.
It does.
And also, the price point on that is pretty good too, as well. It's reasonable. I know on the oceans you're talking somewhere in the
80s. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, and the reserves is kind of around in the $50. It depends on what part of the country you guys
Right, that's true
buy your spirits from. But the reserves is good, but for special occasions and whatnot, the ocean is great.
Oh, definitely.
And also, for me, just like probably for you too as well, there's a good story behind that too.
Yeah.
It's good conversational piece. You can talk to somebody who really not into bourbons, or maybe is starting to get into bourbons. They have a story on how they process.
Right. I mean,
particular
imagine
brand.
telling somebody who's never had bourbon, like,
Yeah.
listen, do you know they put this on like
Boom. Yeah.
the parch, and they're like, what?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Just like, oh, let me try that just for the heck of it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm kind of at the first third, and it's maintaining its balance from the initial start. To me, this is still going to be a mild cigar. So, anybody that's maybe starting to smoke cigars and want to get some things to kind of build up to full body or medium body, and just want to start off in the mild so they can have a good experience, I would definitely recommend this cigar for that.
You know what? You're 100% correct, because I would say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is still mellow. Like, I'm having it now, even, trying to bump it up with the Jeffersons. It is still very mellow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good introductory cigar.
Correct.
I think if you're not a heavy cigar smoker, or you don't have one a week or, more, this is definitely a good go-to for you to experience a really good cigar. Because like we both said, it's really creamy.
Yeah.
And it might turn you on to something new.
Exactly.
So this is definitely a good starter.
Yes. Definitely, even for your more experienced cigar smokers. Again, if you just want to set that atmosphere where you just want to have a relaxing cigar, it's easy. You're not going to have a big bite or aftertaste after you smoke it. This definitely will fit in that category.
Speaking of categories, I could even see it like time of day. This is a perfect morning cigar, early afternoon kind of cigar.
Oh, you hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
I would love to try this cigar again with maybe a good strong cup of coffee or like an espresso or even a double shot. Because now you get that punch from the
and this
coffee.
is that cream on top.
That's the cream on top. Yep. You get the punching with the mellow, and it kind of.
Hey, you know what? I could see that. A nice espresso.
Yes.
Maybe a Dominican coffee. Oh my God.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah. French pressed.
Boom. Boom. So don't forget, maybe try that. Not only with a spirit, but also with a good coffee. I think this will go with a good coffee or or an espresso or French press coffee. Something strong, I think. Because you don't want your coffee to be too creamy. Because you're going to get that from here.
Yeah, you don't. Okay. Speaking of that, you don't want a coffee that's kind of like, I hate to say it, but like an American-made coffee. You want something that's, from Costa Rica, Ecuador.
A dark roast.
A dark roast, exactly. If you can, do an espresso, double espresso shot like you said. Don't put any cream in it, because this is the cream that you would actually taste with that coffee that you're having. Yeah. I definitely agree. Yeah. Hey, we got it. Bro. I think we got this one.
I can't believe we agreed on something. I thought
it ain't the first time, but
I thought we were gonna be at both ends, boxing, duking it out.
yeah, we might have a UFC match at some point, but this wasn't one. This is, I keep looking at it. I was like, I don't remember the Uno being like this before. I guess maybe because when I first got it straight from the shop, lit it up, didn't let it rest. This one's been resting for a while, and
I could say, how long did you have this in your humidor?
Year or two, maybe.
Oh, well, there you go.
And like you could tell by, I already threw out the wrapper. The cellophane on it. But you can tell, like, usually it's yellow.
It's yellow. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but
it just looks shiny white because of this bright light.
Yeah.
But usually I let my cigars rest. I've learned not to go to the shop, buy a cigar, smoke it right then and there. I'll support my local BMN. That's that Jefferson's kicking in. My brick and mortar by buying cigars there, but I'll bring my own that I've aged, and I'll smoke those, and I'll keep the ones that I bought, and I'll bring them home, and I'll age them here in my humidor, make sure the temperature's right, humidity's right, so that when I do light it up, I know it's been sitting for a while, and I know I'm gonna get a clean burn. This is about as clean as this one's gonna get.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, look at this. These are steady. Yeah. So.
And on your burn, you want to have almost like a little cap on that to let you know that it is burning good. We're not putting too much heat.
Exactly.
When we draw, we're not hotboxing it, so to speak.
Yeah.
But look, I want to be like Will when I grow up. Okay. and the reason why I say that is,
I love it.
I used to have cigars seasoned in my humidor. But man, let me tell you, recently I've been smoking a cigar every day. I mean, it's almost like when I called them earlier, say, "Hey man, what you want to do?" I said, "Bro, I got like 2 cigars left in my humidor. A Placentia and a San Cristobal." He said, "Well, I don't have none of those."
I got neither of those two. I was like, I will find something.
But see, my biggest thing is I smoke just about every day, and I used to like Will. I used to keep them in the humidor for a while, and it's a lot. I won't say a lot of science into that, but it is definitely some science into the humidor because you want to make sure you have, depending on what size of humidor you have, you want to make sure you have enough sticks in there so it can take full advantage of the humidity and everything else that you putting in there and maintain.
See, I kind of get where you said you want to be like me when you grow up because at this point I have so many cigars I can't buy anymore because I don't know where to put them. So whenever I can,
to me,
I just did.
I sure did.
So
I'll smoke.
Yeah, we now know where this show is going. Am I right? So we know he ain't gonna buy anymore. He's just gonna come over here. What else you got? So that I don't mind. I mean, like this is a good Wednesday night for me. We're chilling in here anyway, watching Sticks and Sips. A show that we watch.
Just call me humming and bumming and hate to see me coming. No, I'm kidding.
No, but I love it because, like you said, there is a science to keeping the temperature, the humidity. I must rotate these things at least every 2 to 3 months, I would say. Check the temperature, check the humidity levels. Each box that I have, each humidor box that I have in this big like wine cooler thing, I would rotate the cigars. I wouldn't just keep the top layer at the top. I would even rotate the cigars top to bottom, and I do that with all the boxes. I do that with every single one. And I always check, I got these digital hydrometers and it tells me exactly, what the humidity level is. If there's a little off, I'll change things up. I no longer use Boveda packs. Boveda packs, I give them away when I give people cigars. I'll use them in my travel doors. But I have like these little blue gel.
Yeah, the gel.
Yeah, and you know what? That's been the best in my experience of keeping all these cigars perfect. Oh my God, it's just a game changer.
And that's why I mentioned earlier about the experience I had with that H99. and I'm going to give it another shot because I didn't give a chance for the rest of my humidor. And it went straight from the shelf to
your
my
mouth.
cutter. Yeah, exactly. So that's why the H99 will get another at bat. I think I owe it, to them because, quite frankly, I love everything from Drew Estates.
I've got my little exceptions. There's only one line I'm not too keen on, but out of all the lines that they have, and I think even Joya is part of their line now, so there you go. I don't particularly care for the acid line. And for me, I think I had told you why. It was like, just imagine your prom date. I know it's been a while for us, but
Cuba.
Imagine any of those acids. For me, it tastes a little too fabricated. The best analogy I had, and I think I told you this, think of your prom date, and remember kissing her neck? That's what an acid tastes like to me. Now, that's my own personal opinion. I love a lot of their flavored cigars, infused cigars, you name it. But that's one line I just cannot be part of, personally, simply because it doesn't hit my palate the same way it hits everybody else's. And there's cigars out there for everybody, and everybody's got a different palate. That's why they make as many cigars as they do.
Yeah.
So that's my thing on that.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Drew Estate might have even cut their teeth first with the acid line.
They did.
And
they did.
They kind of
it was in the World Trade Center.
Organically expanded from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we were saying, hey, that's his opinion. My opinion too. I'm not a big acid guy also, but hey, it might be for you. Again, talking earlier about your new cigar smokers.
Yeah,
that might be something that they might want to dabble in and try.
And you know what? And I've kind of noticed that too.
Build up to something a little bit more strength or something to it.
Right, but there's a lot of times where what I've noticed is the younger generation, and by that I mean like guys, girls, 20s, 30s, they'll tend to go for an acid. I think price point also, I don't know. I don't buy acid. But it's the flavor profile, and I think the taste also. It's what I assimilate hookah being like. So for me, most of these kids that grew up, have had their chance of trying a hookah, and this cigar is kind of reminiscent of having a hookah because it's that really flavorful, like really infused, like really deep flavor.
That is a good analogy. The acid is more like I would say a good transition. Cigar. Again, for me, I think it kind of fits into your junior or your new to the cigar smoking game,
right?
So to speak, because it does give you some of the flavors. It could be a little bit, sweet depending on which
one. Yeah, because they do have a lot of different flavors of acid. I've seen it. Believe it or not, I have tried. I think almost every single one. And once again, it's not one you'll see me pick up in this show, but I've given it a shot. And I've given every single one a shot. I'm not going to...
I'm going to give him the pick up in this show. Okay.
He's buying, though.
Oh, Lord. So we kind of moved a little bit towards the halfway point.
Yeah, to the halfway point, yeah.
And again, same... it really didn't, bump up or anything like that. So I will put this in the category of something more of a steady Eddie.
Yeah.
Through and through. It's not going to ratchet up or, crank up to a 5 or anything like that from where it started. It's going to keep you. It's going to keep you right.
Oh, it's level. It's level the whole. I'll agree with that. It's like level the entire time. Yeah. It doesn't transition into something else as you keep going. It's a solid smoke. Yeah. Like, this is a solid cigar. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what I got these for, but I'm sure you can look it up online and find out. They're a steady, really everyday kind of cigar. Like, it's not mind-blowing, at least not to me. These aren't the cigars I normally go for. And like I said, I must have had one of these like 3 years ago. Now that I'm getting back into it, I'm like, I could probably do this with a good espresso.
Yeah.
And it might make a world of difference.
That's it. Learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, by the way.
Why, thank you. Yeah. So I think this is pretty much, it's not going to change. So I don't think we need to keep drawing this out. We'll enjoy the rest of the cigar.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will drop comments. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Let me know if you pick one of these up. See your thought process on them. Are you new to it, or have you been smoking and you just wanted something a little creamier? And, are you doing an espresso with it? Are you doing a bourbon with it? We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, like I said, we probably, like I said, talked enough about the cigar. The cigar's good. We're going to go ahead and give that a thumbs up, especially for expectations from the cigar. We're not going to over-talk it, so to speak.
Right.
And again, if in fact that this cigar change and go up a level or two, we'll shoot you a quick follow-up on our next video just to let you know. But I'm probably safe to say we're going to get the same
thing throughout, which is solid.
Notes.
I mean, this is a good solid stick.
Correct.
When you're thinking like, what you're getting at the beginning, you know what you're going to end up with.
Yeah.
So you can probably nub this and be really good at it too, because it's going to stay steady.
Yep. All right, well, you know what? I think that might do it for today. What do you think?
I think we're good.
All
Hopefully you guys, got enough of a taste of, what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Stay smoky.
Stay smoky. Hey, guys, look forward to seeing you on the next one. Again, please like, share, comment on this video. Again, I'm with my man, Will. My name is Kel. You can follow me on Handlebars and Cigars on both Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to put out some content on my motorcycle. I'm dying for that. I already have some content already out there, so go ahead, please check that out. And like he said, stay smoky. Hey, I want y'all to be happy, be healthy, and be safe. But more importantly, I want y'all to be easy. Till next time, we see you later. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.